This is the basic way of breathing, and it's so profound, this basic abdominal breath. You wouldn't think so, but it actually helps us to alleviate stress. It helps us to digest better. We sleep better. We feel calmer. It helps anxiety. So really important to connect to this. And then we'll do one more round of that diaphragmatic breathing. And then we will transition into Nadi Shodhana, so doing some alternate nostril breathing. And this right away will help shift the energy into a little more relaxed, a little more balanced state. So if you feel a little anxious or you feel rushed, this will help to settle that down. Okay, so we'll start, and I'm going to take my right thumb and just place it gently to block off the right nostril. And then take that diaphragmatic breathing right into this. So you'll inhale through that left nostril, expand the belly, nice full lungs. Pause the breath with the lungs full, and then block off that left side, open up the right, and exhale through the right side. Pause with the breath out, and then inhale through the left side, nice and full. Through the right side, sorry. Pause with the breath in, and exhale through the left. Pause with the breath out. Inhale left. Full lungs hold. Exhale through the opposite side, right side. Pause with the breath out. Inhale, full lungs, right side. Hold breath in. Exhale left. Continue just like that. Inhale, full lungs on the left. Hold. Exhale through the right. Pausing, and then breathe in through the right. You got the idea, so just keep going on your own. Taking a full breath through each side. Making sure the shoulders are relaxed, the face is soft. So really aim to move towards that softness. Keep going just a few more rounds. Bringing in this nice visual. When you breathe in all the health, all the vitality, the energy, peace, everything that you want. And exhale all the heaviness, all the feelings that are uncomfortable, that you don't want. Breathe in all the good. And exhale all the things that are just not serving you. And just taking a few more rounds. When we actually make the time to do this breath work, it really has a profound impact on our well-being, our health. So it's very good to spend a little time. Let's do one more round, and then I'm going to have you exhale through the left side. And taking your time, finishing up that cycle. And then as you're finished, we'll just place the hands into the lap here. Wherever you are, renew the length of the spine. And notice how you feel after doing that. It's Spending just a little time with that breath makes such a difference. And then let's join the hands at the heart center and drop the chin down into that more of a humility posture. Bringing the chin down into the heart. Starting your practice being grateful. Good. Namaste to everyone. And then on your next inhale, we'll reach the arms out and up. And just give yourself a nice, big, long stretch here. And then we're going to take a side bend over to the right. So bring that right hand off to the side, possibly a block if you need a little bit more lift. Reach up out of that left waist, and then stretch gently over towards the right. So just take a moment to notice where your foundation is. It's in the hips, and then everything that moves away from that root is opening, which is now your left side of your body. The left hip is heavy, you're reaching up and a little bit towards the right. Go for space, always over the depth. Let's look up underneath the armpit and then see how that makes your neck feel. If it bothers the neck, you can keep it neutral or even looking down. It's a nice soft quality. And then let's inhale the breath. We're going to bring the arms back up towards the ceiling. And then take your right hand and just hook it on the outside of your left leg for a twist. So your left hand's going to come back behind you, close to your spine if you can. And then re-lengthen. You want to twist a very long spine, not a compressed spine. And then lengthen up and twist from the diaphragm up. Looking over the shoulder just until you feel that resistance and twisting. Breathe in as you lengthen and breathe out as you twist. And then let's come back up, reach the arms long, big breath in. And now we'll take a side bend to the left. So take that left hand off to the side. And again, you're gonna root that right hip heavy. It wants to lift up. So keep it down. And then everything moving away from that hip is opening and stretching. Stretch to your own degree. Breathe deeply and fully. Check out your neck here, looking up, looking straight ahead, or even looking down. It's not a one-size-fits-all, so make sure you find your own prescription here today, whatever that may be. Good. Taking 2 more breaths here and try to soften. We're just opening up the body gently this morning. And then inhale, we'll come back up, reach the arms long. This will help you to renew the length of the spine. And then take a twist to your right. So now you hook your left hand on the outside of your right leg somewhere. You'll notice that when you're tight, you will lean all the way to that right. So just try your best to keep that left hip heavy so you stay right in the center, right in the plumb line of the body. Stacking the shoulders over your hips and ears over the shoulders. Breathe in as you lengthen and breathe out as you twist, navel towards the spine. 1 more breath. And then we'll come back around, reach the arms up on the inhale. Good, side bend to the right, reach up and out, inhale and then exhale, take a little bit deeper stretch. Good, we're going to take it into a flow, inhale, reach up towards the ceiling, twist towards your left. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, back to center, reach the arms up. Take a side bend to your left side, reach up and out. Exhale as you get into that nice side stretch. And then inhale up and take a twist to your right. And then inhale back through center. And then take the hands right down into the heart center. Good. Let's switch your feet now. Take your opposite foot in front, unless you're seated in a chair. And then we're going to take the arms back up again. Big breath in. We're going to take a side bend now to the right. Reach up and out of that left waist and stretch. Good. Inhale up into your twist towards the left. Exhale your breath. Completely empty out. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend to your left. Reach up and out. Good. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist to your right. Empty out. Squeeze the navel in. Back up through center. Reach the arms long. This time, interlace the hands and flip them inside out. And just feel that nice long side body here. Open up the lungs, the diaphragm. Breathe deeply and fully. And then release the arms. Good. So now let's roll over the shins, or just come on to hands and knees, however you can get there. And then we'll start opening up our spine, along with some other things. So being in that seated position, it's kind of nice to stretch out your legs. So take the left foot and just press it back. You're on the ball of the foot. Press back through the heel. And then roll to the toes. So just shift forward. Press back through the heel. And do that a few times. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale, pressing back. Really feels good in the calf muscle. Also, you're opening up your ankles and your toes. Let's do one more time. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, pressing back. And then just place that left knee back underneath your sit bone and switch sides. Right foot back onto the ball of the foot. Press through the heel. And then roll to the toes, shifting forward. Now try to smooth out your breath here so you create a nice steady cadence. Always staying close to the rhythm of the breath. The breath is what takes you from one movement to the next. Inhale and exhale. Let's do once more. To the toes. To the heel. Good. And then let's place both knees underneath your sit bones. And then we're going to turn the hands to directly face out to the side. Just out to the side. Make sure the hands are about outer shoulder distance apart. You don't want them too close here. So make sure you got a little wider stride. And then shift towards the left fingers. And then shift towards the right fingers. So you can see I'm just going side to side. And it's kind of a nice way to open up the wrists in a very gentle way. But you're also opening up your shoulders. I can feel this all the way up into my shoulders. Feels good. Breathing with that side to side just a couple more times. I even feel it in my neck. It's a really nice stretch. And then come back to center. And now, if you feel very tight, walk your knees in a little bit. This will make it more accessible as you move your fingers to face back towards the knees. And again, you want about outer shoulder distance apart. Then you can start to move the knees back a little further, and that will create more sensation in your wrist and your forearms. And now the movement's going to go forward and back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Yeah, okay, I bet that has your attention, at least most of us. So just take that nice gentle movement with breath. Notice which wrist do you feel this in? Which one is talking to you a little bit more? Okay, and then let's very gently, you can move the knees back in to help you get your hands back to face forward. And then go ahead and set up the posture in tabletop. Root the hands, spread the fingers. And then just take an inhale as you lift up across the chest. Lift your face, lift your seat, and then exhale, push the floor away around the spine. Spread those shoulder blades apart. And then find your rhythm here. Inhale as you lift up. Exhale as you round. Enjoy that cat-cow. Getting more vertebral mobility and space. Articulating through each one. And don't be shy to sigh. That's my new motto, right? Don't be shy to sigh. It's actually your body's way of letting go. And then let's come back into neutral. Let's move the hips around in a nice big circle. And then maybe you let your hips come forward towards the wrists as you make that big circle. But don't feel like you have to make this very dynamic. You know, we're all going to be a little different with this. You might be bringing a lot of sensitivity in your body, so just take it slow. Just breathe nice and steadily. That's a good indication if you're doing the posture right for you, is if you can breathe with no effort. And let's go the other direction a few times, just opening up the hips, the low back. Feels good. I don't necessarily have to tell you where you're getting this opening. You can feel it. You can feel it when you start doing it. Okay, good. Let's come right back around into hands and knees. And then let's transition now into spinal balance, which is really good for our core and also our spine. So right arm is, or actually, let's do this. Take your right leg back, toes facing down. And you want your toes to face down. You don't want your hip to open. So roll that right hip down and really stretch back as if you're putting your foot on a wall behind you. Take the left hand to the bottom of your ribs and just make sure they're not dropping. You want to pull them up and back. And then with that integrity, you'll reach that left arm forward right alongside your ear. Stretch long through your limbs, breathing, not sinking in that right shoulder. Stay lifted. Good. One more deep inhale. And then exhale, release the hands and knees down. Good. Take a little wag of your hips side to side. Maybe exhale through your mouth. And then let's come back and do the other side. So now left leg back, toes facing down. Feel as if you're putting that foot right up against a wall. And then take the right hand to the bottom of your ribs, again, just to make sure you're not dropping. Pull everything up. And now reach that right arm long. Big breath, long breath. Long arm, long leg. Good. One more breath. Inhale, lengthen out. And then exhale, set everything down. Good. And then let's start to move those hips around a little bit, or you can just take your hips side to side. Just whatever feels good. And now let's shift forward. Okay, so from hands and knees, just rock forward so that the heart comes in front of your thumbs. And now bend your elbows. So now you're loading up the triceps and not the shoulders when you make that shift forward. The elbows graze your ribs. Chin and chest come down, tail is high. This is Ashtanga Namaskar, 8 limbs. Slide the legs back and then reach the arms forward into Sphinx pose. So that's the first Ashtanga Namaskar. We'll just kind of start to become familiar with that. It's also referred to as a modified Chaturanga, but it's funny because it's not necessarily easier. So we'll go over a couple little tricks to make it more accessible. Let's do this nice gentle back bend here. Press the hands down, lengthen back through your legs, and then lift your chest up, slightly forward. nice deep breath. And remember, before we really start to get moving here, I want to make sure that you understand that deeper is not always better, right? You want to modify, pull back. It takes a little bit of wisdom to understand when to do that. So use your wisdom, your innate wisdom of what's right for you and when to pull back. That's really important. This is self-care, not a competition. And then let's come down onto the belly, and we'll reach that left arm out long. So you want it in line with your shoulder. You don't want the arm too high, and you don't want it too low. So check it out, make sure you're right in line with the shoulder, then walk it directly out. And then you can take that right foot up and over, all the way over, maybe landing the big toe down on the floor. If that's too much, you can just stack your hips, stack your feet. But let your head rest and pull that left shoulder blade down so that it goes towards your back pocket. Let's roll back onto the belly. I love that one. And then we'll take the other side. Move my goodies out of the way here. Okay, take that right arm so it's in line with your shoulder. Walk it, walk it, walk it. Maybe you feel good enough to bring that leg all the way over to get more of a twist. But again, you have to know when that's going to be appropriate for you. If it feels good, it's probably good. But if it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel right, it's probably not. So just pay attention to your body's feedback. So much wisdom in the body. Good. Stay present. Stay with the breath. And let's roll back onto the belly. Slide the hands under the shoulders and let's come into child's pose. And you can take a wide knee child's pose so that your ribs and your belly can rest right in between your thighs. Or you can keep that a little bit tighter and really create more of a massage for your abdomen. So it just depends on what you're feeling like this morning. You might need that extra support there for digestion, so you can just create that massage, that compression. But let's breathe deeply and fully here, really recalibrating how you're breathing. And now reach those arms way forward. So much that your arm bones lift up, your elbows lift up. You can even pop up onto your fingertips. That feels good. And then walk over to the right. So just take all that length you created and walk to the right and then exaggerate that stretch through the left arm. That's really going to feel good on the left side. One thing I've learned, the one main thing I've learned with yoga is that sometimes just because you can do something doesn't necessarily mean you should. So, just knowing when to pull back, when your body needs a little bit more, nourishment and nurturing. And this time of year, I think we need more nurturing. And let's come back through the center. Renew the length, and then let's walk over to the left, and then reach long through that right arm, and keeping that right hip back and down. you can really notice, right, which side is holding on to more stress, more tension from one side to the next. You know, every side of the body, the right to the left, tells a story. It definitely tells you what's going on. Are you living in the sympathetic nervous system a little too much? Good. Let's come back through the center, and then we'll draw yourself up into tabletop, hands and knees. And then let's bring the knees together, curl the toes under, and start to move the hips back and forth. So we're going to work with our toes, our feet, give them some love, pressing back and forth. And then you can take the breath with you. Inhale forward, exhale back. Very good. And then if you like, you can stay here, hang back here with your hands pushing into the floor to push your hips back more. And then if that's enough for you, that's perfect. Just stay right there. Otherwise, if you need a little more stretch and you want to deepen this a little bit, you can just sit right back onto the heels. But just be aware that you're not letting your heels splay out to the side. You want to pull them in a little bit. So just take a moment to explore that. And then where is the breath? Feels good to me to let out a nice sigh in these postures. From time to time, it just feels good. It also helps you to relax your jaw. A common place we hold so much tension. Okay, let's come forward onto hands and knees and then uncurl the toes. Give them a little massage by tapping them out on your mat. Good. And then let's come down all the way back up down onto the belly. But let's practice Ashtanga Namaskar. So glide forward. Your elbows will face backwards and they'll bend right alongside your ribs. Lower down, chin and chest, tail is high. It's okay if you don't quite get this. You will. Slide through. Now keep your hands there and inhale up and look over the right shoulder. This is twisting cobra. And you're going to feel a nice stretch on that left front body. And then lower down. Inhale up into cobra, twisting to the left. Now feeling that stretch on the right front body. And then lowering back down, right down the middle. Inhale up. Make sure you're not loading up the shoulders. This is more of a back strengthening, leg strengthening, and then lower down. Good. Push back through child's pose. Take a breath. Exhale through the mouth. And then let's come back through into table. This time curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and let's take a wide downward facing dog. So just take those feet and place them towards the edges of your mat. So you have nice space here. I'd like you to bring your awareness to your upper body, your shoulders. Are you squeezing the shoulders up by the ears? So I'd like you to move the shoulders apart by shifting your triceps towards the mat. Your elbows will face back towards your knees. So see if you can create that widening across the upper back. Feels really good. And then let's just go right into that space between your feet. So we'll walk the hands back, take your time, go all the way back, and then we have either Malasana. You can just drop those hips and bring the hands to the heart. If you can't quite do that and that's challenging, that's okay. Just take it up higher, place the hands on the knees and just push the knees out. So again, you're just finding what's going to work for you. Be a wise practitioner. If you are all the way down in Malasana, make sure you're not rounding your spine. So lift up. long spine is pretty much always a priority in yoga. And then let's take the hands down, lift your hips up, and walk your feet in so that they're hip distance apart. And then just let your upper body drape over your thighs. Just take a breath or two there. Just calming down, grounding our nervous systems here. Getting away from all the busyness. And then on your next inhale, let's lift the chest away from your thighs. You can keep your blocks here if you like, or you can take your hands to the front of your shins, but you want to keep your spine long. And then let's exhale and fold down. Nice. This time we're going to take a twist. So inhale halfway up. Keep your right hand down, either on a block or just right out in front of you. Bend your right knee pretty deeply and take your left arm up into a twist. And you can, if your shoulders are kind of cranky, you can just bring your hand on your waist and just twist from there. Very good. Then release down into that forward fold. We'll take the other side. Bend your left knee pretty deeply, straighten the right, and then either bring the hand to the right waist or reach it long, twisting from that mid-spine. And then release. Good. Inhale right down the middle, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Nice. Hands on those hips. Come up with a nice flat back. Long spine. Oh, good. Relax the arms. Take a breath. Feel your feet. And now inhale, sweep the arms forward and up and rise all the way up onto the tippy toes. So we're going to work with a little bit of balance, a little bit of strengthening in our feet and our calves. Try to hold it here. Stay with breath. On your next exhale, you're going to lower down nice and slow. Sometimes you just fall down, and that's okay. Just keep trying. You're rebuilding and reclaiming the strength in your feet. Let's practice that a couple times. Inhale up. Press through more of the big toe mound. That will help you stabilize. And then exhale nice and slow. Well, I'm feeling pretty wobbly today. So I don't know what's going on with me, but that's the way it goes. Inhale up. And exhale down. Kind of like you're going up and down an elevator. Right? That's how slow you want to go. Nice and controlled. Let's do 2 more. We want to be able to have the balance, right? The stability to catch ourselves if we feel ourselves falling. So this is really important. To bring in balancing practices. Last one. Very good. With your feet down, we're going to reach the arms back up again, just so you get a nice stretch. Grab a hold of your right wrist. Reach up out of the waist and stretch over to the left. And see if you can open the chest up a little bit more. And then let's come back up through center and grab a hold of the opposite wrist. Lengthen up, up, up. And then pull yourself over towards the right. So the ribs are in. Make sure they're not poking out, because that's going to put you in your low back. And I want to keep you out of the low back. So keep the navel in. Lengthen up and over. And then let's do it one more time. Lift up. Grab a hold of the right wrist, reach up and out, ribs in, tail down, stretch. And then one more time to the other side. Lift up, ribs in and stretch. Good, back up through center. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling, take a little bit of a back bend there. Or maybe you're feeling good enough to go back even further. And then go ahead and come down into a forward fold. Exhale, let that go. Inhale, lift up halfway. And bend your left knee deeply. Reach the right arm up, back into that twist. And release. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Bend right knee, left arm reaches into a twist. And release. Good. We're going to walk our hands all the way back out into plank pose. Plank asana. Upper push-up position. So check this out. Make sure that you don't look like this. Right? You're going to draw everything up. Plank, if you look at the word plank, what that means, it's a board, right? This would be a very, I don't know, soft board. We want it to be hard, firm, nice and long in the spine. Now press back through the heels, and then we're gonna roll to the toes, kind of like we've been doing. Press back through the heels, roll to the toes, and do that once more. Press back through the heels, roll to the toes, stay here, and now you're gonna lower down chaturanga. This is gonna load up your triceps and not your shoulders. You can always take your knees down and lower down like we've been doing. Inhale up and look over the right shoulder, twisting cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come up and look over the left shoulder. Exhale, lower down. Right down the middle. Inhale, lift up, press your chest forward. And exhale, lower down. Nice, push back through child's. And then let's go right into downward facing dog. It feels so good to move the spine in all directions. With your right heel anchor, so I want you to really press that right heel down. Lift that left leg back behind you. So it's just a hip height, it's not too high. Keep your hips square. And then let's exhale your breath as you bring that knee towards your right elbow. It doesn't have to touch, but just go in that direction, little twist. Inhale, press that left leg back. And exhale, take that left knee to your left elbow. Reach it straight back. And then just set it down. Good. Let's take those knees down and take your left foot, place it up in between your hands, and bring your block into it. Blocks. Both blocks. Hands to the blocks. Lift the chest and just let that right hip melt forward. So I know for some of you that may have been a little challenging what we just did. But it's good, right? It's good to challenge yourself a little bit. Take breaks when you need to. Remember, we're practicing for longevity, not stupidity. So be gentle with yourself. Okay, opening up that right hip. This is awesome. Lift up across the chest, shoulders relaxed. And we'll take a twist here too. So I'm going to take my right hand to the block. Bring your right hand to the block, but bring it a little further away from the body so you have space to open that left arm and twist. Moving those right ribs towards your left inner thigh. Reach up and twist. Nice. Then release both hands to your blocks and take a hamstring stretch. Pull your hips back. Flex your left toes towards your nose. Now the commonality here is to round the spine. Try to take the roundness out of the spine. Lift your chest. Give it a moment. Give it a little time to adapt to the shape, to the stretch. Good. And then let's come forward and down into that low lunge here. Set your blocks off to the side, and then we'll just step right into tabletop, hands and knees. Let's practice Ashtanga Namaskar again. Glide your chest forward, bend your elbows straight back, shoulder blades come together. Slither through, cobra twist. Inhale up, look over the right shoulder. Exhale, lower down. You don't have to come up high. Inhale up, look over the left shoulder. And come down. straight down the middle. Inhale. It's not a push-up. Exhale. Push back through child's. Just take a breath or two. Right here in a resting pose. Just check out how you're feeling. Recalibrate the way you're breathing. And then let's make our way back into downward facing dog. So now you know what's next. Just a little challenge. Okay, feet about hip distance apart. And now keep that left foot heavy. So you want to root through that left heel the best you can. And then sweep that right leg straight back behind you. Your hips are level. You don't have to lift the leg super high. Now shifting your shoulders over your wrists. You're going to twist and bring that right knee towards your left elbow. Doesn't have to touch. Reach it back on the inhale. And bring your knee towards your right elbow. Shoulders over your wrist. You're working core. Reach it straight back. And now if you like, you can step that foot all the way up in between your hands. Or take your feet down, take your knees down, and then step your left or right foot forward. So there's always ways to transition. It makes it a little easier until you get that clear step, right? You gain the flexibility and strength to actually place the foot between your hands. That takes time. Coming into this low lunge here, lift up into the chest. The shoulders should be right over your hips. Steady the breath, steady your mind. Try not to overthink and overanalyze. And definitely don't criticize. Let's bring that left hand to the block, right hand on the waist, and twist with your long spine. If you'd like, you can reach the right arm up for a deeper twist. This is definitely not the place to beat yourself up, all right? This is the place to be very, very gentle with yourself. And then let's release both hands down. We'll take our hips back into that hamstring stretch. Flex the toes. Lift the chest. And breathe. In and out the nose. Good. Let's come all the way back through, little lunge. Place those blocks off to the side. And then let's step back into tabletop. And then we're gonna go right into plank pose. So just step your feet back. Whew. And we're gonna hold this just for a little bit. Building strength. Soften your face. If this is not really that challenging for you and you want to up it a notch, you can place your hands a clear hand distance in front of you. Just step them forward, but don't let the butt lift up. You want to keep the hips down, chest reaches forward, and you want to pull that navel in and up. Use more of that core. If your hands are forward, go ahead and step them right back underneath your shoulders. And then either roll forward for Chaturanga or knees, chin, and chest, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, Cobra twist to the right, shoulders back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, Cobra twist to the left. We're getting some warmth now. Lower down, exhale. Inhale, right down the center. Shoulders drop out of your ears. Exhale, lower down. This time stay here, bring the arms all the way back alongside the body, and then inhale everything up. If you like, you can interlace the hands and roll the shoulders open. Neck is always long. You're lifting from the chest, not the eyes. Keep that in mind. That's good integrity for your neck. Lift up and go up. One more breath. And then release it down. So good. Come on back to child's pose. Take a few moments to breathe, to rest, to recalibrate. So ultimately what we're doing in our yoga practice is that we're working with yourself, right? To support your harmonious relationship with your body. I don't think we're so harmonious with our bodies most of the time, so you could really use your practice to create a better relationship with yourself. Therefore, everybody else. Let's come back into tabletop, hands and knees, and then let's do thread the needle. We like this one. Right arm's gonna reach up towards the ceiling into a nice little twist here. And then thread it right behind the left arm. Come onto the back of that right shoulder, let your head rest. You can stretch the left arm above your head and move the left hip back in space so you're really lengthening before twisting. And just enjoy that. You don't want to collapse on the right shoulder. You want to create a little bit of a lift. Press down into the shoulder. This one because you get a lot of bang for your buck. You're getting a nice sweet shoulder stretch, a spinal twist. You're also getting a mild inversion, dropping the head down below the heart. Very gently come up, slide the left hand close to your face so you can help yourself up, and then reach that right arm back out to the right, up towards the ceiling, and then release it down. Nice. Left arm, reach it up. Twist from the mid-body. Exhale, thread it right behind the right. Come on to the back of that shoulder. Press into the shoulder to facilitate more twist. And we're winding down a year, another year gone. It's crazy how time goes by so fast. But this is a good time for us to really contemplate, what's been working for you and what isn't. Time to clean out, clean house. Letting go of what's no longer serving you for your health, for your longevity. And then let's come back up onto hands and knees. Take that twist out to the left. Reach that left arm up to finish the movement. And then release the hands down. Let's take a few cat-cows here. Inhale, just for some neutrality. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round. Let's take one more. Let go of any tension that's accumulating in the spine and in your mind. Come back to neutral, curl the toes. Let's make our way back into downward facing dog. Find stillness for 3 full breaths. Just as a reminder, asana translates to holding posture still with peace and calm. That's what asana means. So find some stillness for one more breath. The only thing moving is the breath. And then let's look forward. You can walk your feet up towards the hands. Take your time. Get those blocks if you need them. Place your hands on them for support. And just fold down. So you can see I'm bending my knees. I feel kind of tight in my right hamstring today. So I'm going to be a little more gentle.
Bending the knees is always advisable to keep your spine long. Let your head go. Let your thoughts go. And then on your next inhale, press into those blocks and lift your chest away from your thighs. And exhale, fold back in, maybe a little deeper. Hands on the hips, press down to rise. And then relax the arms. Ah, so good. Just check out how you're feeling. And then on your next in-breath, you'll reach the arms out and up. And we'll take a twist to the right. So my right arm's gonna reach back, my left arm's gonna reach forward. Twist and look towards that right thumb. And then inhale back up through center and twist left. Left arm back, right arm forward, looking towards the thumb if you can. Let's do that once more. Inhale up, exhale, twist right. Inhale center, exhale, twist left. Inhale center, little back bend if it feels right. And then join the hands together at the heart center. Just connect back into your heart. Take a breath, close the eyes. And now we're gonna challenge you just a little bit with balance, just a little. You can also use a wall if you have it accessible. We're gonna reach down for that right knee. Interlace the fingers below the knee. And then try to stand tall. So don't lean forward. You wanna keep your spine nice and tall. Bring the knee to you. Don't bring your chest to the knee. Okay, so for some of you, this is gonna be just enough. It's awesome. We can move on one step if you like. Hold on to the right knee with your left hand. Reach that right arm back behind you, like the twist we just did in Tadasana, but with one leg. And there might be maybe one or two of you, whoa, I'm losing my balance, to slide that foot towards your outer right foot and then kick it straight out. Remember, priority is long spine, not straight leg. So you can keep it bent, you could straighten a little or a lot, and twist. Find a place where you can hold it with peace and calm, even when you're challenged. Then we're gonna let go of the leg, whatever part of the leg we have. Lift the arms, keep the leg there. Now try to extend the leg straight out in front of you without leaning back. Kick it forward and then release it down. Woo! Circle out your hips. You guys still love me? Go the other direction. It's all good. So good for us. So if you find yourself very wobbly, it's okay. That's why we do this, to practice. Okay, let go of that side and let's go to the other side. Lift up the left knee, interlace right below the knee. And check this out, can you see me? I don't want you to lean forward like this. Seems easier, but it's actually not. Hold on to the knee and then lean back and let your arms straighten. There's actually a little bit of a sweet spot here when you stack everything, ears and shoulders and hips and knees, right over the ankle. And you can stay right here. This is good, this is enough for you. Just practicing your balance. You could also take that gentle twist with your knee bent, reaching that arm back behind you. If your balance is still with you, slide that hand down towards the foot and kick it out. Doesn't have to go all the way straight, but do keep your spine straight. Good, and then we're gonna let go of the foot, but leave it there. Let go of the knee if you have it, leave it there. Lift the arms up, extend your legs straight, maybe lift it, and then release down. Hands to the heart. Very good, let's take a wide open stride.
Reach the arms out to the side. How are you guys? You guys okay? Still doing good, okay. Good. How are you guys? Reach the arms out, inhale here. And let's exhale, twist to the right. So bring your left hand to the right leg, reach up towards the thumb, look up towards the thumb. And then inhale back to center, exhale, twist left, reach up and look towards the thumb. Going back and forth, inhale brings you up, the exhale brings you into the twist. Keep going. So you can either reach way down on the leg or just a little bit higher. Whatever provides support for you to keep your spine long, to keep integrity. Back and forth. Once more. Inhale to the right, or to the center, exhale to the right. And then we're going to finish up on the left side. Inhale, exhale, twist left. Nice. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bend your knees to bring your hands down right in the center of your feet. You can bring those blocks back in if you like. And just fold down. So blocks are there for really nice support. You can place your forearms on them. You can just place your hands on them. You could even stack them and place your forehead on them. So just find something for you. It feels good. You can take all that away and take a headstand if some of you have that in your practice, and I know some of you do. Not everybody, right? This is where you have to use your wisdom. Is this right for me today? And just as a reminder, when you're doing Sirsasana, 80% of the effort is in the forearms, which is the foundation. Only 20% in the head, so very little weight is on your head. Sometimes headstand feels really good to me, and sometimes it doesn't. So how are you feeling? And maybe headstand is never going to be in your practice, and that is okay too. You still get so much benefit when you just drop the head down below the heart. That will suffice, I promise. If you're in a headstand, you can start to make your way out. And then we will all lift up halfway on the inhale and fold on the exhale. Hands on the hips, come up with a nice flat back. Whew. Take a moment, sometimes you get a little dizzy after that. Let's bring the arms wide. Turn those right toes to face forward towards the short edge of your mat. Bend and straighten into that hip just a couple times. And then finding warrior two. Reach back on the inhale, maybe take a wrap. If you want to slide that left arm behind you and reach up and back. Good, I love the side body stretching. And then let's release the arms out long, straighten up the legs. Lengthen from your waist, Trikonasana, triangle pose. And this is the same thing. You don't have to reach down on the legs so far. Do whatever your body can do. Lean the upper body back though and find an imaginary wall. Reach up. Let the posture do its magic. Breathe. Can you find a little calm? Send that breath down deep into the lower lobes of the lungs. And then looking down, we're going to frame your foot. So this is where you could bring in those blocks on either side of the right foot. And then just take the left foot up about a full step so you can get the heel down. Drag that right hip back in space so your hips are level. And then lift and lengthen your spine. So listen here. If the spine is rounding, bend your knee and re-lengthen your spine. Only work the legs straighter as your spine can stay straight. If the spine rounds, it's over.
always feel free to bend that knee. Go easy, go slow. We're tight back there usually. You can fold all the way down if you feel that that's available for you. And then let's lift up halfway. Okay, we're gonna lift the left leg up in the air. So slide your blocks a little forward, bend your right knee, and get light on that left leg and just lift it back. Kind of like that one-legged dog we did. Straighten the standing leg, lift your back leg, but keep your hip rolling down. We don't want to open it in this position. Keep it down. Lift the leg as high as it'll go until you feel something. Some of you might be able to walk your hands in closer to that standing foot and then maybe grab a hold of the ankle one hand at a time. Otherwise, hands on blocks, just do your best. Take that leg that's lifted, is that your left leg? Yeah. And then step it up and land it right next to the right. Sit the hips way back with your knees together and inhale, peel the chest up. So you're in chair pose. Sitting down, reaching for that chair, lift up into the chest. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, let the arms come up, lift the hips. Inhale back to chair. Exhale through the mouth. And do that 2 more times, and you're releasing anything that's not serving you anymore. Let it out of the body. Inhale and exhale. Good. Back to chair pose. Inhale. Sit a little bit deeper. Exhale. And then press all the way up to stand. Let the arms come down and around behind you. Interlace them. Roll the chest open. And then release and shake out the arms. Good. Back into that wide stride. Open up the arms and legs. And then turn your left toes to face out. We have the other side. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Just see where you are with this warrior 2. And then find your warrior 2. Take a breath here. When you're ready, inhale. Take that right arm behind you. Reach the left arm up. Bend your left knee and then take it back into that little arc, little side bend. Smooth out your breath. Good. Straighten up the legs. Reach the arms long and then firm the legs. Make sure. And then lengthen from your waist. Take the hand wherever it goes and top arm up. Okay, so the common thing here we do is we shift the upper body forward. I want you to feel a gentle touch of my hand on your sternum, pulling your chest back towards that imaginary wall. At the same time, your left hip tucks underneath you, and that's a much better alignment for this pose. Let's take one more goodbye inhale. And then exhale, we're gonna come down into that pyramid. So bring your blocks back in. Bring them to either side of your left foot. Take your right foot up about a full step so the heel can root. That left hip will shift back in space so you have a nice level sacrum. You can take your hand right there too, just to make sure. See what's going on back there. You should be able to place a little cup there or a cookie and it won't fall off. So that's how flat you want it. And remember, you can bend your knee. You can fold all the way down. Just find a nice stretch in that left hamstring. As you're ready, you can bend that front knee, take your blocks forward so you have room to lift that back leg up. Remember, keep your hip closed, toes down. Maybe that's enough. It's perfect. Some of you might be able to walk your hands in closer to your standing foot, maybe grabbing the foot one hand at a time. This is called supreme balance, and it takes a little time. And one leg is definitely different than the other. Boy, this side is just cranky for me today. And then go ahead and step your feet together at the top. Sit back into that chair pose. Peel the chest up. Inhale. And then press all the way up to stand. Exhale. Hands to the heart. Just take a moment there. Deep, full breath. Let's bring our fingers in front of the shoulders, thumbs behind, elbows wide. And then we'll inhale, elbows together and up. Exhale, back and down. Real gentle circles for those shoulders. Which seems so simple, right? This is like the simplest exercise, but really helpful to keep the tension and to keep the natural range of motion in your shoulders. And letting go of what you're holding on to in the shoulders. Oftentimes it's not even your stuff, it's other people's stuff that gets stuck in the shoulders and the neck. One more in this direction, and then we'll reverse it. We'll go the other way. Take the elbows out wide, up and forward and down. Good, nice deep inhale and long exhale. Good, let's do one more in this direction. And then we'll just release that and shake out the arms. Very good. Stepping up to the top of the mat. Let's take just a little vinyasa to the mat. Inhale up and exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Step back to plank pose. And then lower all the way down to your belly, however you can get there. Let's bend up those knees, grab a hold of your toes. If this is not accessible, and let me show you something quickly. If your knees are really out wide, I advise you to just let go of the feet for now, bring your knees in line with your hips, and then just lift up this way. So this will be your bow pose today. Your arms are wide, your feet are flexed towards the ceiling. And you'll lift everything you can up. This is going to help build strength. And it's kind of a precursor to Dhanurasana. So choose wisely. If you're grabbing the feet, grab the feet. And then knees, make sure they're in line with your hips. On an inhale, lift everything up wherever you are. You're going to kick into the hands if you have the feet. Kick up and open the chest. This is so good for anything related to the abdomen. It's so healthy. Lift up and go up, and then release down. Very good. Take a child's pose. Take these moments of pause to contemplate. Allow for a little more deep reflection, to get really honest with yourself, where you are, what's working, what's not. And once you start to study that and contemplate that, it's called svadhyaya in yoga, which is a self-study. You really start to get more clarity. Good. And then let's come around and take a seat. Stretch those legs out in front of you. Dandasana, staff pose. Move a little flesh out of the way, sit right on top of your sit bones. And then I'm going to take my hands back here. So you can just take your hands back here, relax, flex your toes, and then just start to circle the ankles. We'll just do a little bit of love for our ankles here, because those standing poses and what we do, hiking, a lot of walking, tight shoes, you know, we don't really get to take care of our feet like we should. And then we go the other way. In fact, we don't even notice our feet until something's wrong. And then it's all you think about, right? Because your feet carry you around. I like to do practices like this that gives you a little bit more gratitude, not taking things for granted. And then let's slide the soles of the feet together. You can still keep your hands back for support. If you're really tight, this is what I advise. Just bring the feet together, let the knees drop out. This is nice. If you have a little more range, you can hold on to the feet. Lift up. You always want to lengthen away from the foundation. And then come forward towards in front of your toes. Rounding at the very end. Feels good. Nice hip opener. Good. And then coming up, let's stretch those legs out. So now, if you need a little bit of help, you can either sit on the block or grab a blanket and slide it underneath your seat. So it just gives you a little bit more lift. And we'll bend up the right knee, place the foot on the floor, and just interlace your hands below the knee. This is kind of like what we did when we were standing. Flex your bottom foot like you're standing on that leg, and then lift up tall. So notice your hip bones. Make sure they stay equally rooted. Take the right hand back behind you and just take a little twist towards that bent leg. Some of you might be able to really wrap around and twist, or get your elbow on the outside of the knee and twist. That will allow you to go a little deeper. And then we'll unravel that, come back. Take this right foot and just let the foot come into the inner thigh. Let your knee drop out to the side. This is preparing for Janu Sirsasana. Bottom leg that's straight is active. Take the hands on either side of your leg and lift up out of the waist. Maybe the strap will be nice for you here. Can loop it around that instep, like they're extensions of your arms, which is sometimes really helpful. So if you need that, grab it. Otherwise, you can hold on to the foot if you have that accessible, or just place the hands on either side. But most importantly is that you get your spine long, lift up out of the waist, and stretch forward towards that leg. And just take about 2 more breaths, always renewing the length of the spine on the inhale, and then deepening on the exhale. Very good. And then releasing that. Extend those legs back out in front of you. Shake out your knees. Bend up the left knee. Interlace below the knee. Lift up tall. So now you know what we're doing. Flex your right foot. Wrap around that leg however you want. Maybe the elbow finds the outside of the knee, or maybe you just stay hugging that knee in. Lift up and twist as you exhale. We're wringing out our spine, we're wringing out the organs. Very, very healthy. And then unravel that. Take the left foot so that it lands on the inside of your right leg, and just take that left knee out. Let it drop wherever it goes. Flex your right foot. Maybe you grab your strap, or maybe you hold on to the foot. Just remember, it's all about the length of your spine. You can even bend this knee up a little bit if that helps you. Just want to feel a stretch. in deep inhale, and maybe you exhale a little deeper. And then we'll release out of that. It's very good. Now extend both legs out, give them a little shake out. And then take your strap and loop it around the insteps of both your feet. And then we'll all start with the strap here today. Lift up, pull on the feet. So what I like to remember, 80% of the effort is in the legs. So make sure the legs are really active and they're working. Only 20% in the upper body. Sometimes we have a tendency to flip that around. We do too much in the shoulders. So relax the shoulders. Use your legs and pull forward. If you find that you don't need the strap, grab a hold of the feet. Keep your spine long and lifted. Deepening as you're ready. Just take the time to work this for you. Just about 2 more breaths here. Explore it. Consider what's going on in your own body, what you've been through, what you're going through. And then we'll release out of that. Good. And then let's take the blanket, if you're using one, and just shift it off to the side. And then we're going to make our way all the way down onto your back. Slide the soles of the feet underneath your knees, about hip distance apart. And then let's walk the shoulder blades a little closer together. Okay, we're gonna peel the hips up, 1 vertebra at a time. Press into the heels. Use your glutes, use your hamstrings. And then exhale, placing 1 vertebra down at a time. Just rolling through each vertebra. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, peel up. Exhale, rolling down. And then let's lift up and hold bridge pose just for about 3 breaths. You may want to walk the shoulders closer. If you can interlace the hands underneath you, great. If not, that's okay too. But really press into the back of the arms to lift everything else up. Lift up one more time, a little higher, and then release everything down, nice and slow. Let's hug both knees in and take frog circles. Let the knees part out to the side, around and back together. And just doing that a couple times. And then let's hug the right knee in, interlace right below the knee, extend the left leg long. Firm it like you're standing on it. And pull down into that right hip. And let's take a twist on this side. Just draw that leg over the body and reach long through that opposite arm. Try your best to not let the right shoulder lift up off the mat. Just keep drawing it back. Everyone, please take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Take a long exhale through the mouth. My dog just let out a nice moan. She's not shy to sigh. And then let's come back up through center. Good. Squeeze in one more time. And then release that right leg down next to the left one. Take a moment to shift around a little bit and shake it out. And then bend up the left knee and squeeze down into that left hip. Flex the right foot. And then we'll cross the body. I think it's important to also remind ourselves that when you haven't practiced yoga in a while,
it might stir up some achiness, some soreness. It might bring back what was, injured at one time. That often happens. That's part of the healing process. So my advice would just be to not give up. Keep going, because that means there's something there that needs a little healing. Your body is talking to you. Stay here, one more breath. Inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Sigh it out like Shyla. And then let's come back up through center. And squeeze that leg in one more time. And then just extend those legs out in front of you. Take a moment there. Let me see where we are with time. Okay, it's time. Let's take the block. If you like, you can take a Shavasana with a supported bridge. It's a nice restorative posture. Or you can just lie flat, Just be comfortable. I just want you to be comfortable. The resting pose is very important, so you don't want to take a posture that's going to cause you to strain at all. You want to be able to relax. And right here in your Shavasana, you're just scanning your body and checking in to see what has shifted, what has changed. Give yourself this time. If this is hard for you, if it's hard for you to take Shavasana, then you really need to take Shavasana. Give yourself this time to let go and rest.